What if the first meal you eat every day is quietly sabotaging your health? Picture this, the warm scent of a golden pastry just out of the oven, its sugary aroma filling the kitchen, or the sizzle of crispy bacon on the stove, promising a hearty start to your morning. For many of us, these foods represent comfort and routine. Breakfast, after all, is often called the most important meal of the day. But what if the very foods you've trusted for years were setting you up for a cascade of exhaustion, inflammation, or even chronic disease? For seniors, the stakes are higher. Those seemingly innocent bites could be the difference between a vibrant, active day and one spent battling energy slumps or declining health. The truth is, what you eat for breakfast matters, just as much as whether you eat it at all, and some foods, while delicious, might be doing more harm than good. But here's the good news. You don't have to overhaul your entire lifestyle to feel better. Small, intentional shifts in your morning routine can ripple outward, transforming how you feel today and safeguarding your well-being for years to come. Together, we'll uncover 4 breakfast foods that seniors should steer clear of. Choices that might taste like a treat in the moment, but could lead to digestive woes, blood sugar roller coasters, or long-term risks like heart disease. With rich details, real-life stories, and practical swaps, we'll see how avoiding these pitfalls can unlock steady energy, a sharper mind, and a stronger heart. Stay with me until the end, because the changes you make tomorrow morning could be the key to thriving in the years ahead. Let's dive in. First, sugary cereals and pastries. For 68-year-old Richard, a retired teacher, breakfast was a comforting ritual. Each morning, he'd shuffle into his cozy kitchen and pour a bowl of brightly colored cereal, a habit he had kept for years. By 10 a.m., however, he would feel a familiar fog settle over him. His energy drained, his focus blurred, and a nagging hunger crept in. Even though he had already had coffee, for years, he chalked it up to aging, until a visit to the doctor revealed the truth. His healthy cereal was, in fact, a sugar bomb in disguise. Sugary cereals and pastries, like donuts, cinnamon rolls, or store-bought muffins, may seem like an easy and sweet way to start the day, but beneath their appeal lies a trap. Many cereals, even those marketed as wholesome, are packed with added sugars, artificial flavors, and preservatives. Sometimes with more sugar per serving than a candy bar. A single bowl of these can send blood sugar levels soaring, only to crash an hour later, leaving seniors like Richard feeling drained and irritable. Pastries are no better. Laced with trans fats, refined flour, and enough sugar to rival dessert, they offer a fleeting comfort, soon replaced by sluggishness. For seniors, this sugar roller coaster can be a dangerous cycle. As metabolism slows with age, the body struggles to handle these rapid spikes and dips, raising the risk of fatigue, weight gain, and insulin resistance, a stepping stone to type 2 diabetes. Over time, the inflammation caused by these foods can strain the heart and cloud the mind. Richard's turning point came when he swapped his cereal for a bowl of plain oatmeal, topped with walnuts and fresh blueberries. Within weeks, his mid-morning slump faded, replaced by steady energy that carried him through gardening and crossword puzzles. No extra coffee required. The alternative is simple yet powerful. Swap the sugar rush for real sustenance. A steaming bowl of oatmeal, topped with crunchy nuts and berries, or a homemade muffin sweetened with mashed bananas, delivers protein, healthy fats, and fiber. These foods help stabilize blood sugar and keep inflammation at bay. For seniors, breakfast is not about deprivation, but about rediscovering it as a foundation for vitality, not just a fleeting high. Second, white bread and highly refined carbohydrates. For 71-year-old Robert, breakfast was a comforting ritual. Each morning, he'd prepare 2 slices of soft, white bread, golden with butter, and a smear of strawberry jam. A simple yet satisfying meal passed down from his father. It was his little piece of tradition, a comforting way to start the day. But by 1100 a.m., the effects of his breakfast began to show. his energy would crash, his mind would feel foggy, and a sense of exhaustion would creep in. Despite having already had a cup of coffee, he always blamed it on getting older, until a conversation with a nutritionist opened his eyes to the true cause. His morning toast, white bread and other highly refined carbohydrates, such as bagels and pancakes made with refined flour, are popular breakfast choices for many people. Their soft texture and mild taste make them easy to eat, but for seniors, they may be doing more harm than good. These foods are stripped of their natural fiber, vitamins, and minerals during processing, leaving behind a product that is essentially an empty calorie. When Robert ate his white bread, the carbohydrates in it were rapidly converted into sugar in his bloodstream. This caused a quick burst of energy, but that burst was short-lived. Just an hour later, he would experience a sugar crash, leaving him tired, hungry, and in need of more food to feel satisfied. This pattern of quick energy followed by a crash is common with refined carbs, and it doesn't just leave you feeling sluggish. It can also cause long-term health problems. Over time, the constant cycle of sugar highs and lows can lead to chronic inflammation, which is linked to numerous health issues, including arthritis, heart disease, and even Alzheimer's disease. The body's inflammatory response is heightened as we age, making it even harder to manage these blood sugar fluctuations. For seniors, this can be particularly harmful, as it places additional strain on already taxed systems. Robert was hesitant at first when the nutritionist suggested changing his breakfast habits. He had eaten white bread with butter and jam for years, and it was something he had always enjoyed. But after a few weeks of switching to whole grains, the benefits became undeniable. He swapped his white bread for sprouted whole grain toast, topped with almond butter and banana slices. Not only did he notice that his energy levels were more stable, but he also felt more clear-headed and less bloated. His digestion improved, and he no longer had to rely on another cup of coffee to get through the morning. The alternative wasn't just healthier, it was more satisfying, providing long-lasting energy rather than fleeting bursts. Whole grains, like sprouted whole grain bread, are digested much more slowly by the body. This slow digestion allows glucose, a sugar, to be released into the bloodstream gradually, preventing those sharp spikes and crashes. The fiber found in whole grains also helps regulate blood sugar levels, keeping them more stable and reducing the risk of conditions like type 2 diabetes. By opting for whole grains over refined carbs, seniors can curb inflammation, improve digestive health, and stabilize their energy throughout the day. Robert's experience is a perfect example of how a small change can lead to significant improvements. Instead of the empty calories found in white bread, whole grains offer more nutrition, more fiber, and ultimately, better overall health. These simple swaps can make all the difference. Imagine starting your day with a warm bowl of steel-cut oats, rich in fiber and filled with healthy fats, or a slice of whole wheat toast topped with creamy mashed avocado and a sprinkle of sea salt. These aren't just sacrifices. They're upgrades that add flavor, nutrition, and sustained energy to your morning routine. For seniors, choosing whole grains over refined carbohydrates is not just a meal choice. It's a way to invest in their health for the long term. It's about finding balance, nourishing your body, and providing it with the fuel it needs to thrive, not just survive. With the right foods, you can set a steady, healthy rhythm for your day, transforming your mornings from sluggish and tired to energized and clear-headed. Third, processed meats. Elaine, 72 years old, a mother of 5 and grandmother, has always believed in a hearty breakfast. Each morning, she would prepare crispy strips of bacon alongside fluffy scrambled eggs, a dish that reminded her of her childhood days on the farm. This was a routine she maintained for years, a small joy in her quieter, golden years. But recently, she began to notice some unsettling changes in her body. By noon, her energy would wane, her legs would swell slightly, and her blood pressure readings were creeping higher with each checkup. At first, she thought these were just normal signs of aging. However, a visit to the doctor revealed that her beloved bacon was the hidden culprit. Processed meats, such as bacon, sausage, and ham, have become staple breakfast foods for many. They have a savory, satisfying taste that makes them easy to eat and create a sense of fullness that lasts for a while. But for seniors, these foods can be a double-edged sword. They are high in sodium, salt, saturated fats, and preservatives, particularly nitrates, substances that the aging body struggles to process efficiently. Just one serving of sausage can contain more than half the recommended daily sodium intake, causing a rapid spike in blood pressure, which places a strain on the heart. Over time, this overload of salt can lead to fluid retention, puffiness, and an increased risk of heart attacks or strokes. What's worse, when nitrates in bacon are heated during cooking, they turn into compounds linked to inflammation and cancer, especially colorectal cancer. Studies have shown a direct connection between the frequent consumption of processed meats and certain types of cancer. Elaine experienced a shift when she decided to cut back on bacon and explore healthier alternatives. She began incorporating foods like creamy avocado spread on whole grain toast, or a delicate slice of smoked salmon, rich in omega-3 fatty acids and free of harmful preservatives. These new choices not only made her feel better, but they also helped her blood pressure return to a more stable level, reduced bloating, and provided steady energy throughout the day. After making the change, she noticed less fatigue. Her legs no longer swelled, and she felt more clear-headed. Breakfast doesn't need to be loaded with fatty, high-sodium foods to be satisfying. For seniors, breakfast should be about nourishing the body in the best way possible. To avoid the risk of high blood pressure, bloating, and other health issues, it's best to focus on meals filled with fresh, natural foods. Imagine scrambled eggs with vibrant spinach and cherry tomatoes, or a tofu scramble flavored with turmeric and black pepper. These meals not only offer a burst of flavors, but are also packed with vitamins and nutrients that support heart health and provide steady energy. If you still crave a savory breakfast, there are plenty of healthy alternatives. Lean turkey bacon or plant-based options, free of nitrates and full of natural seasonings, offer a tasty, healthier way to satisfy that meaty craving. These swaps aren't about depriving yourself. They're about reclaiming your mornings with foods that support your body's needs. For Elaine, letting go of processed meats wasn't a loss. It was a shift that brought clarity, strength, and vitality back into her life. And for seniors, moving away from processed meats is not just a health choice. It's an opportunity to have mornings that feel lighter, more energetic, and full of focus. Breakfast should lift you up, not weigh you down. It's not about sacrifice, but about replacing the old with healthier options that sustain you throughout the day. Fourth, flavored yogurts and fruit juices. For 74-year-old Margaret, her morning ritual was almost sacred. Each day, she would pour herself a tall glass of orange juice, its vibrant hue promising a burst of vitamin C, and pair it with a cup of strawberry yogurt. This breakfast felt like a healthy start. After all, her mother had always insisted that juice was nature's gift, and yogurt was full of probiotics, a perfect combination to boost her wellness. But as the morning went on, Margaret began to feel the familiar signs of a mid-morning slump. Her hands trembled slightly, her stomach rumbled, and suddenly, she found herself craving something sweet, as if the food she had eaten earlier was no longer enough to satisfy her. Margaret always attributed these sensations to the natural process of aging, until a conversation with her doctor made her realize that her breakfast wasn't the healthy, energizing start she thought it was. In fact, it was having the opposite effect. Flavored yogurts and fruit juices, often marketed as healthy choices, can be misleading. While they seem to promise health benefits, especially with their claims of probiotics or antioxidants, they often pack a hidden punch of sugar that can have a negative impact on health, particularly for seniors. Margaret's strawberry yogurt, which she had always believed to be a wholesome choice, was in reality a sugary treat masquerading as a health food. Many brands of flavored yogurt contain between 20 to 30 grams of sugar per serving, more than what you would find in a can of soda. Even worse, many of these yogurts are stripped of the fiber that would normally slow the absorption of sugar in the bloodstream, and they are often sweetened with artificial additives or syrups, further contributing to blood sugar imbalances. The effects of consuming these sugar-packed yogurts are immediate. After eating them, Margaret would experience a rapid spike in her blood sugar, followed by a crash an hour later that left her feeling sluggish, irritable, and hungry again. This kind of sugar roller coaster is not just inconvenient, it's harmful, particularly for older adults. As metabolism slows with age, the body becomes less efficient at processing sugars, which means that even small amounts of sugar can have a bigger impact. The quick rise and fall of blood sugar levels can lead to fatigue, weight gain, and a higher risk of developing chronic conditions like type 2 diabetes. Additionally, the inflammation triggered by these sharp spikes in blood sugar can contribute to other health issues, including heart disease and cognitive decline. Fruit juices are no better. Even if the juice is 100% pure with no added sugars, it still floods the body with concentrated natural sugars. Unlike whole fruits, which provide fiber to slow down the absorption of sugars, fruit juices lack this crucial component. This means that the body processes the sugar quickly, causing the same rapid rise and fall in blood sugar levels, leaving seniors feeling tired and craving more sugar to stabilize their energy. Margaret's glass of orange juice, which she had always seen as a healthy, refreshing beverage, was actually contributing to her energy crashes and hunger pangs. Margaret's turning point came when she made the decision to overhaul her breakfast. She swapped out the fruit juice for a whole orange. The difference was immediate. The orange provided fiber, which slowed the absorption of sugar and kept her blood sugar levels steady throughout the morning. Similarly, she replaced her flavored yogurt with plain Greek yogurt, which is higher in protein and lower in sugar. She topped it with fresh raspberries and a drizzle of honey, a natural and satisfying sweetness that didn't spike her blood sugar. By making these simple changes, Margaret found that she no longer experienced the mid-morning crashes that had plagued her for years. Her energy was steadier, her cravings diminished, and she felt more focused throughout the day. These swaps not only helped Margaret avoid the sugar trap, but they also allowed her to enjoy her breakfast in a way that was far more nourishing. Picture this: a bowl of thick, creamy Greek yogurt topped with a handful of fresh berries and a sprinkle of chia seeds. This breakfast provides protein, fiber, and healthy fats, perfect for maintaining muscle mass, supporting digestion, and stabilizing energy levels. Or imagine a refreshing glass of water infused with cucumber and mint, paired with a crisp apple, offering both hydration and satisfying crunch without the sugar overload. For a treat, a smoothie made from spinach, banana, and a dollop of almond butter can provide a nutrient-packed, fiberic option that won't send your blood sugar levels on a roller coaster ride. By making these simple but powerful swaps, seniors can nourish their bodies with the nutrients they need, without the hidden dangers of excess sugar. The difference in how you feel is striking. No more crashes, no more cravings, just a steady flow of energy that lasts throughout the day. The message here is clear: healthy eating doesn't have to be boring or tasteless. In fact, it can be just as delicious as it is good for you. With a little knowledge and some thoughtful changes, you can create a morning routine that supports your health, stabilizes your energy, and helps you feel your best every single day. Breakfast isn't just a meal, it's the opening note of your day's symphony. For seniors, it's personal. A morning of sluggishness or a day of clarity, a step toward disease or a stride toward strength. Sugary cereals, processed meats, flavored yogurts, and white bread may whisper comfort, but they deliver chaos, blood sugar spikes, inflammation, and risks that grow with time. Yet, the power to change is in your hands, and it's simpler than you think. Picture a plate that hums with life. Whole grain toast crowned with avocado, a bowl of yogurt brimming with berries, or eggs nestled beside a rainbow of vegetables. These aren't just foods. They're allies, offering protein to sustain, fiber to stabilize, and fats to fortify. For Richard, Elaine, Margaret, and Robert, the shift wasn't about loss. It was about gain energy that lingers, a heart that beats stronger, and a mind that stays sharp. So, if you've eaten these don'ts for years, don't despair. Your body is ready to heal and eager to thrive. What resonates with you most? Was it Richard's sugar crash, Elaine's bacon reckoning, Margaret's juice revelation, or Robert's toast transformation? Your morning is yours to reclaim. Share one thing you've learned today and how you'll weave it into your life. Your story matters, and your voice fuels this journey. Small changes made with intention can rewrite your days and your years. Here's to breakfasts that don't just fill you, they lift you.